Hey everyone, I'm Nina, and in this video I will be talking about 3 drawing basics that you need to know about to evolve as an artist. And those are shape, value, and edge. It's actually very important to know these 3 elements, especially when thinking about and planning your drawings and when giving and receiving feedback. But don't worry, it's simple, so let's start. The first element you need to know about is shape. Shape is what defines the outlines of any object of the drawing. But not only that, it's also the outlines of any shape within the drawing itself. For example, the outline of the head and the nose is 2 different shapes within the same drawing. And shaping the objects in the drawing is also the first thing you do when starting out on a new piece. When I draw, I sketch the shape first. Some artists trace the line, some use the grid method, and others, like me, used the pencil as a measurement tool to get proportions right, for example, by sketching from big to small. And this is actually what shaping is all about, getting the right proportions so that a real-life object or subject will look alive and realistic. The next element is value. Value is the term to describe the range between black and white in your drawings. There is an infinite amount of values because of the light spectrum, but I made 8 here so it's easier to understand. I am showing you here how different pencils can create different values, and it's also up to the pressure control, and a good artist can create a lot of values using only a few pencils. To be sure that you have a full range of value in your artwork, I recommend you to create a value scale, like this one. Using this scale, you can be sure that you create a full range of value. A lot of artists use a value scale when they work, identifying specific values and adding them in appropriate places. And by doing that, you will always know if your drawing is lacking some depth or, on the contrary, if it's too dark. And this is my cat Misa. He has a lot of value from dark to light. The difference between 2 values is called contrast, and using values to create depth, shade and highlights will significantly improve the realism of any drawing. This is the most popular exercise, drawing a sphere. Take your pencil now and practice with me. I'm using a 2H, B and 7B pencils and any blending tool. By the way, I made this blending stamp myself, and if you want to know how, check out this video. The link will also be in the description. Let's say the light is coming from the top right. I started shading from the darkest area, slowly moving to the highlight. I'm adding layers of graphite until the value of my shadow is where I want it to be. I'm blending it out between the layers to keep the transition between the shadow's edge. And I really want you to like this video and subscribe because there will be a lot of cool stuff coming, right? And now, if I put my value scale next to it, we will see that I used a lot of types of shadows from it, or as we already know, a lot of values. As you can see on this flower, I combined both shape and value for a realistic looking result. The shape is the outlines of the flower, and the value gives depth, shade and highlights to bring the flower to life. Notice how I use values ranging from total white to almost all black. Finding and balancing out your values in any drawing will give it realism. Not doing it will either make it look too gray or too flat. So, I advise you to do your own value scale and put it next to your drawings to see if you have found the right balance. I use hundreds of values in my drawings by blending from 10 to 20 values. How many values do you use? Think about it and tell me in the comments. The last element to understand is edge. Edge is the transition between two shapes using value. There are hard edges and there are soft edges and everything in between. It's important to be aware of what kind of edges you use in your drawings by observing what exactly you're drawing. Typically, hard edges are high contrast and depth of field, while soft edges are more smooth, like for example between the nose bridge and the cheek. Understanding, balancing and combining these elements will help you to draw better drawings. Actually, there are 7 elements of art, but when drawing with graphite pencils, these 3 are the most important. If you like this video, if you find it helpful, like it right now and comment what you think about it, or if you have any questions, I will gladly answer them. And of course, subscribe to support my channel and my art. I post different videos about art almost every week. See you soon, guys. Bye!